Hello and welcome back to my channel, and happy Halloween. I thought that it would be fun just to get some Halloween messages from your spirit guides. I was going to film a different video, but it just didn't feel like the right vibe, so we were just doing general messages from your spirit guides today. And with that said, please feel free to pause the video, pick whichever card is speaking the most to you, and let's get into today's reading. Hello Pile 1 and happy Halloween. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Fear card, this is going to be your reading for today, where we will get whatever messages that Spirit has for you today. So with that said, let's get right into it. What messages? Okay. Alright, we have the Nine of Swords. This makes sense in context of this Fear card here, which I will talk about. But let's see what other cards come out first. Just make sure I have enough room here. Okay. Messages you have for pile 1, please. Messages. Oh, okay. All right. I like these decorations, but they're a little finicky. Okay. We have the Hanged Man. And the Nine of Cups. An interesting message so far. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was I was expecting to see this card today, to be quite honest, Pile 1. Even though I think the overall message here, it's positive, it's encouraging, it's positive. But yeah, it definitely seems like with the Fear card here, it makes sense the Eight of Swords would have come out. Okay, let's get you one more tarot card. What messages do you have for Pile 1 today, Spirit? What messages do you have? Okay. Okay, and we have the Page of Cups. Yeah. Yeah, this message is very much related to the Fear card up there, as like a theme for you, Pile 1. But as I said, I think that the overall message here is positive and encouraging. It's just that we do have some cards with some heavier feelings here. I am going to lay out all your Oracle cards just so we can have like the full message, and then I'll get into it. So we have the first quarter moon in Capricorn, which says unleash your kindest self, which I love. And then we have closure. Beautiful. Okay. So first of all, the thing that I'm noticing first right off the bat is we have kind of a progression in the Oracle cards. We have fear, then unleash your kindest self, and then closure. So it's like, it's related to the Page of Cups. This kinder, softer energy in the face of fear is actually going to provide you closure. There might be a message that, sometimes the bravest thing to do is to be compassionate, and especially compassionate to yourself. So that might be something that is related to whatever situation you have going on right now. But we will get into the cards. I want to start with the Fear card here because it was the card in the thumbnail, and it does seem to be the overall theme for today's reading. And the message of this card is just to examine your fears and examine whether you have been letting an old fear hold you back from moving forward in some way based on old information. Because there's a crow here standing on top of a scarecrow and just kind of like, he's like yelling out, you know, like this is like no fear in the face of something that is very scary to all these other crows that are lined up on this like telephone wire up here. Like these crows are holding back because they're afraid of the scarecrow, but this one's saying like, look, it's not even real. That's not a real farmer. It's just you know, it's just a construct. It's not real. And then this crow, I think, is like happily saying, well, if you guys aren't gonna come here, I can have this whole cornfield to myself. I can eat all the corn myself because you know, I have realized that that this thing is not what everybody else thinks it is. So it's like, yeah, it's like when we learn new information or go on a process of discovery, it can help put some of our fears to rest, because we realize that some of the things either that we've been told or that are based on like old systems of belief are not relevant anymore. They don't apply to our situation anymore. And so that could be related to this message here. And it was when I was looking at this card, I was thinking, like, this is very much related to the message of the Eight of Swords. And then, of course, it came out in your reading. So, but I think there's also a message with this card that you have the opportunity to push past your fear. And that when you do, it will have a very positive effect, because not many people are willing to even approach the scarecrow to see what it is. And with the heavier energies here with this Nine of Swords and the Eight of Swords, I think it's really important that the message here is unleash your kindest self. And I would tie that into the message of the Hanged Man, the message of the Page of Cups, and even this Nine of Cups here, because this person is just meditating. You know, they're not pushing or forcing or aggressive in any way. Starting with the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a heavier energy. It can talk about, I think this is, honestly, I think you're over here, but this might just be context for what you might have been dealing with. Like you might have gone through a period of time where you were really struggling with your mental health. You might have been struggling with anxiety, fears, phobia. You might have gone through maybe like a little bit of agoraphobia if maybe you were struggling during COVID, or just something that might be something that you have been struggling with. This could also talk about having dark thoughts, having depressive thoughts, feeling hopeless, feelings of despair, you know, the anxiety that keeps you up at night, feeling like nothing's ever going to get better. It's a really heavy energy. And I think there's a message with the fact that the next card is the Hanged Man. And then we're moving into this Nine of Cups. I think there's a message that there might not have been a radical change in your circumstances that has gotten you away from this Nine of Swords feeling. I think it was a process of acceptance and faith, and in the sense that it's reminding me of something that my therapist once told me, which was, you know, I had been feeling like I was kind of stuck, trapped, stagnant for a while, and I kept making these like grand plans to, like, you know, run away and join the circus, you know, like just, I wanted things to change. The thing that my therapist told me, which actually really irritated me at the time, but it was, how can we focus on creating a life that we don't want to escape from in your current circumstances? So that might be something that resonates for you as like a process you've been going through, because the Hanged Man, you know, it talks about remaining in the status quo. It talks about not rushing anywhere, not making any big changes, and just getting to a place of acceptance of where you are right now, and the idea that wherever you are is exactly where you are meant to be, and that if there is change coming, it will happen in divine timing. And there's like a surrender type of message in that. And then the fact that we have this, the Nine of Cups is a beautiful message, and particularly this image of this person just sitting on the beach looks like they're maybe meditating, or maybe just enjoying the beautiful scenery here. It's like, I've created, and this is a sandcastle that they built, like I've created a sanctuary for myself out of a situation where I needed to accept that maybe the direct circumstances of this were not going to change, but I could change my attitude. I could change my perspective, and that has allowed me to find peace out of a very dark time. That's how and especially this is like, there's two nines, you know, so it's like there's a connection here between these two energies, but they're they're very different. Like these are the flip side, and it could just be like feeling very differently in the same situation or circumstances, but I'm making the most out of this because I have gone inward, if that makes sense. And the Nine of Cups is like the way that I'm being called to read the spread. It's just, yeah, it's giving me the sense that it's about creating a paradise wherever you are, and creating again, like in your current circumstances, whatever they are, doing whatever you can within your power to create a life that you don't want to escape from. And I think that part of that is really examining some of these fears that were here. Like this is the type of fear and anxiety that is like being caught in a mental loop, and it might not be. It's like this is it's unhealthy fear. It's like there's even an acknowledgement with this card that a certain level of fear is healthy, you know, because that would be like trusting our instincts. You know, we have gut instincts for a reason. You know, if you're in a dangerous or unsafe situation, it's a good thing to have a little bit of fear in that situation because it's a survival instinct. But when we let our fears take over and they start to hold us back in some way, that's when it becomes unhealthy. And so it's like the message here is we're transmuting, and we're getting away from this unhealthy fear. We're confronting and examining, because one of the messages of this Eight of Swords, and you can even see it on this card, like this person's not really trapped, but they have a blindfold on and their hands are tied together. But it's also like they could easily, even the way their hands are tied, they could easily take the blindfold off and just walk out of this Circle of Swords, even though it might, from a certain perspective, seem like they're trapped here. They are not actually trapped there. And so I think there might even be a message that, like, that I'm really being really drawn to the imagery on this Nine of Cups card. This person might be meditating on this Eight of Swords and, like, again, just examining, confronting, analyzing, and not from a place of fear, but from a place of curiosity. Like, why am I afraid of this thing? Is this a fear that has been installed in me by others? Is this something that is based in reality? Is this, you know, a healthy fear that's created by a survival instinct that I should pay attention to? Or is this something that is not based in reality? Is this a fear that my mind has created that is not real? Is it possible for me to remove this blindfold, untie my own hands, and walk out of this Circle of Swords? And I think that the answer is yes. That is very possible. And I really think you're, like, in the process of doing that, because this is also the first in this progression here, and with the other energies here, like, I do think you're like in the middle of this process. I think that this is maybe like maybe like echoes of this Nine of Swords, but I think this is just context for the progression, the progress, the spiritual progress you have been making. And I also think it's important that we have on either side of this Eight of Swords, we have the Nine of Cups and the Page of Cups. They're both beautiful energies. The Page of Cups also almost has like an opposite energy to the Nine of Swords, because the Page of Cups is very hopeful. You know, they're like, it's just a very positive, optimistic, open sort of energy. Unleash your kindest self. I really think there's a connection here. Like, just embracing these energies while you're examining this Eight of Swords, like coming again, like not from a place of fear, but from a place of self-compassion. And, you know, and the Nine of Cups talks about wish fulfillment, it talks about emotional fulfillment. And like, that's the kind of the reason why, like, I'm just getting the sense these are things you've been providing for yourself. This is like internal change, internal shifts. And it's the beautiful message here is this might be something you're thinking about. Like this might be like a thought bubble in this person's mind, but the Page of Cups, like I think this is the energy you are really moving towards embracing, and that is a beautiful energy to be in. Page of Cups is, you know, as I said, like positive, optimistic, hopeful, creative, romantic, very like willing to try new things, express themselves, be vulnerable with other people, which that might not have been something you, even if you're struggling with your mental health, or you might not even have had like the energy or their capacity to be here in this energy. But it's just like the shifting, changing that you've been doing, and the focus on self-compassion, I think, is really helping heal things in you. And the Page of Cups can also, I'm being compelled to mention, be a messenger. So there might be a message here. I do think it's important that all of these cards only have one figure on them. I think that this might have been a solitary process for you. I think that like this might have been change you had to do on your own, or even like with the help of a therapist maybe, or like a spiritual guru if that is part of your path. But it's when you're in this energy that you might start making new connections with other people, because this is the Page of Cups is somebody who's in a great and very receptive energy to making authentic connections with people, because the Page of Cups always shows up as their authentic self and is not afraid to express their feelings. Yet that's an easy energy to connect to, and especially if you are coming from a place of compassion, self-compassion, especially if you're coming from a place where you can really relate to people who might be going through an energy like this, where you can help just by sharing your own experiences. That might be an energy that other people are drawn to. And it could be that if you are kind of trailblazing by landing on top of this scarecrow and saying, I'm not afraid of this thing, it's made of old clothes, it's not a real person, you know, we don't need to be afraid of this thing. Other people who are watching you do this might take inspiration from that. And that is fantastic. That is being an inspiration to other people just by, you know, by showing up and being willing to do this work. And I think at the closure card, the imagery on this card, I think is like a door that has been closed, and we're continuing on our path, but we've closed a door behind us. And this could be saying that working on closure, this might be saying like, once I've confronted these fears, these feelings, whatever this is here, whatever, if you're doing like shadow work, whatever you're healing here that has to do with your fear, once you close the door on it, these things are not going to come back. And it was because if your fears have been based on old information, old experiences, things you've been told by other people, by confronting it, you are realizing you have new information now. And you are kind of like learning and integrating that. And so you never need to go back to a place where you're afraid of this scarecrow. You will always know it's not real. I don't have to be afraid of this anymore. And it's shutting a door on this chapter in your life, and providing closure for yourself. And I do think that that your spirit guides are very proud of you, because again, not a lot of people choose to go down a path like this. There's a lot of people who will stay in this energy, or like just never examine what's going on here. Like they just never challenge their beliefs. And it's not an easy road to go down. And to be in a place where you are choosing to confront fear with compassion, that again that's a rare thing. And I think your spirit guides are proud of you for having the courage to do that. And I think that it's something I also love about this card is it's like, even though we've kind of closed the door on something, this person's still walking on their divine path. This is part of their divine path. Like sometimes in order to move forward, we need to leave something in the past. And I think that's definitely part of the message for you today, pile one. I'm not sure that there's much else to say aside from if you have been feeling like, if you have been feeling maybe a little bit like, you know, stuck, stagnant, a little bit like this is a really long process, you know, I've been working on this stuff for so long. There is a positive message again in this, the Nine of Cups and the Page of Cups, about feeling fulfilled, feeling just happy and positive and optimistic about the future. If you feel like you're not currently in that energy yet, there is a message that by examining the Eight of Swords, you will get there, because it's providing closure on your fears, on anything that was holding you back. And we're working through this so that we can be in this. It's also a very brave thing to be in the energy of the Page of Cups, because it requires a certain level of vulnerability and the willingness to be vulnerable, which is not easy. So with that said, I feel like I'm rambling, so I am gonna end your reading there, pile one. I do hope that it has been helpful for you. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to leave a like, and please comment down below and let me know how this resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you again for watching pile one, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello pile 2, happy Halloween and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Knight card, this is going to be your reading for today, where we are just getting some messages from your spirit guides, whatever they have to say. We'll see what comes out in the cards. And with that said, let's get right into it. What messages do you have for pile 2, spirit? What messages? Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, we have the moon. Going very well with our theme here. What messages do you have for interesting. We have the Sun, and then the Two of Wands. Okay. All right. What messages? Okay. That's too many cards. Okay. What message? Okay. Okay. That's okay. There's too many cards. Okay. Okay. What messages do you have for pile 2, Spirit? What messages do you have for pile 2, Spirit? Oh, okay. Okay. All right. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Okay. And I'm going to get your other oracle cards. I'm just going to lay everything out so that we have all of the context right off the bat. I do want to say, I don't think I'm going to forget to say it, but I do want to say that the meaning of this Knight card doesn't really mention the moon, but I was being drawn to talk about the moon before I even started filming, and then the first card out is the moon, and I do think it's really important that it's the moon and the sun. So we will talk about it when we get in there, but there might be something related to day-night cycles, your circadian rhythm, and or your sleep schedule that Spirit really wants you to focus on right now. But we'll talk about that more. I'm going to get your other cards. We have the first quarter moon in Cancer, which says push through any insecurity. And then we have trust. Okay. Okay. I do think this is a very positive message for you, pile 2. I think that there's something here, and then there's something here that we're going to talk about. I think there might be, again, something that has to do with day-night cycles, sunlight, sleep schedule, sleep hygiene, bedtime routine. There might be something here that Spirit is asking you to address. If you have been struggling with your sleep schedule, which is something that I relate to, I want to say that I have fixed my sleep schedule, that turns out I'm actually a morning person. I never knew that about myself, but when I get enough sleep and I fall asleep at the right time, turns out I am actually a morning person. The way that I fixed my sleep schedule was, first of all, I cut down on caffeine so that I don't have any caffeine afternoon. That was like extremely important. It actually also helped me quit biting my nails. And the other, like, I was unprepared for how profound an effect it had on my ability to have a healthy sleep schedule. It really affected my sleep schedule and made it so much easier to go to bed at like a reasonable time and to get up in the morning without feeling drowsy or groggy or anything. And I was the type of person, I used to fall asleep at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I had trouble getting up before 10 or 11, and I really like struggled through the day, and I was just exhausted all the time. So I really relate to struggling with sleep, if this is something that resonates for you. But again, this the cutting down on caffeine, and then the other thing was I basically had to force myself to go to bed. I would at 10 or 11, which would be, you know, quote unquote, like the healthy time to go to sleep, I would put everything away and just lie in my bed. And the first few nights were really hard, and I was up for an hour or two just with no stimulation, just lying in bed. But it did work eventually. I did manage to fall asleep and to get tired at those times, like tired enough to fall asleep at those times. But it took a lot of discipline to get there. So I don't know if that's helpful. I don't know if that's going to resonate for everybody, but I do think it's important that it's like the night day, and then this night here, and with the emphasis on the moon there. I think there is a connection. This card does talk specifically about Spirit asking you to examine your sleep schedules, and that's why I'm talking about that. This card also talks about nighttime is an opportunity to reflect on what we've done during the day. It's an opportunity to process our experiences in like a kind of a quieter time, a quieter place, and that might be something again that you are working on, or you might recognize that maybe if you have been having trouble getting to sleep at night, it might be because you do a lot of emotional processing at night. And I'm mentioning that specifically because of this big full moon here, and the moon, particularly a full moon, is related to our emotions and our emotional states. And then the fact that we have this moon here again, it's like a confirmation of there's a message there that has to do with the moon. And so there might be a message that working on your sleep schedule, working on getting enough sleep, working on getting sleep in like a healthy circadian rhythm, and also you could be somebody like me who is very affected by like the change in daylight between the seasons. For example, here it's like the sun is setting earlier and earlier, it's rising later and later, and that has had an effect on my sleep schedule and on my level of energy during the day. So what I do to compensate for that is I increase my dose of vitamin D. That might also be something that resonates for you. If none of this sleep stuff is resonating, then it could just be saying that an acknowledgement from Spirit that that you do a lot of emotional processing at night, and when you do that stuff, it might help clarify things during the day. Like giving yourself time and space to reflect on things that have happened and really like find a quiet, dark place to just be with your thoughts, be still with your thoughts. I think that helps promote positivity and optimism when you move forward. So I am going to go card by card. I thought it was really interesting. We have this night and then we have the moon and the sun. And it's also, these two cards are consecutive. So I would say like we're starting at a moon and we're moving towards the sun. That's how I would interpret it. The moon talks about hidden things that we can't see, things that are going on behind the scenes, fantasies, illusions, dreaming. You might also process a lot of things in your dream if you feel like you've been having a lot of like weird dreams or prophetic dreams, or maybe a lot of nightmares recently. There might just be a message from Spirit that that is helping you process your experiences, and there might be messages from Spirit in your dreams if you remember what your dreams are. And the moon is also, as I said, connected to our emotions. And so I think this might be saying I just say, and especially it's followed by the sun, I think that this is a confirmation that you process things in your sleep. It's like, again, like things that you can't see, things that are maybe a little distorted, because even this cat is looking in this pond and seeing themselves differently from how they really are. It's like this is a distortion of reality, or something that's not based in reality, but it's leading to something positive during the day. And so this would be like processing things at night in a way that might be through your dreams or your fantasies or whatever. It's like there's some aspect of unreality to this, but this is creating something, again, positive during the day. The sun talks about positivity, joy, optimism, success, a yes from the universe. You could even see the people on this card are just like having the time of their life, you know? And that's why I'm giving the sense that like whatever is happening here at night is helping you during the day. And there could be a message once you, if you're resonating with this idea about maybe needing to work on your sleep schedule, there might be a message once you get these cycles stabilized, and like, you know, the getting enough sleep, getting sleep at the right times, whatever this means for you, it is going to have a positive knock-on effect on everything else. And because we had these, this is a very positive message here for you, pile 2. I am going to apologize. I feel like I'm rambling a lot. The Two of Wands talks about potential, and it talks about potential in the context of I want to go out and see what's out there. You know, this person's like holding the world in their hand, like you know, anything is possible. They have a wand in their hand. They could do anything. They could choose to go anywhere or do anything, and that can be. It can be a feeling of overwhelm, but it can also be a feeling of excitement. Like there's stuff out there that I want to see. There's stuff out there that I want to do. I want to see what the potential is from following certain paths and trying different things and going different places. There can be a connection with this card when it like to traveling somewhere, or taking a class you've always wanted to take, or pursuing a creative project that you've always wanted to pursue. And this could, this person has not decided what they're going to do yet, but they have endless possibilities. And so there can also be like a little bit of a hesitancy to move forward, because it can be like, once I commit to a path, then I have to follow through with it. And I think that you're being encouraged to push through any insecurity. It's like, if you've been asking yourself the question, like, if I choose to pursue something, is it going to work out? Like, what if it doesn't work out? The message would be just go for it, because it's like the process of pushing through those insecurities and trying the thing and going and doing the thing and just trying to have fun with it, like embracing this energy of the sun and just going in with a positive attitude and to have fun and see whether that thing works for you. That in itself is its own reward. Like going into any experience with a positive attitude can be its own reward, because then we learn that things are not as scary as we thought they were, you know, and it can help build confidence and build even build self-esteem. The sun is also very much connected to the solar plexus, the chakra that has to do with willpower, determination, self-esteem, and the ability to push through any insecurities. Insecurity is normal. Like, I don't know a single person in my personal life. I've never met a single person who did not have some level of insecurity, you know, whether they were hiding it or not. Everybody has insecurities, and that's totally normal. But it's like you can get through it, and it's like by embracing these energies here and by having a certain level of trust and faith that whatever you put your energy towards will result in something positive, even if it's not exactly the outcome that you were hoping for. And this might be like an attitude change, and it might be that at a certain point, the moon, things that you can't see, things you can't control, not knowing what the outcome is, this might have been scary to you at a certain point, and there might be an energetic shift into the sun, which is like, I don't really care what the outcome is. Like, I'm just having fun. I'm just here to have a good time, and I know that when I push through my insecurities, I have trust and faith in my angels, positive things will result. Again, whether it's the exact outcome I wanted or not. And I think there might also be an emphasis on skill building, maybe, or the convergence of these two energies, the Two of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles being right here beside each other. Again, there might be a message that, like, going and trying new things, seeing what's out there, challenging yourself to pursue something that you've been interested in, just to see whether you like it or not, is helping this process on the Seven of Pentacles of investing in yourself, nurturing yourself, pursuing self-growth. However that resonates for you. There could even be a message that if this Two of Wands is connected to maybe something creative, something that it has been inspiring you, that you might need to push through some insecurity and have some trust that is worth doing regardless of whatever the outcome is going to be, that is helping, that's helping generate pentacles. Like, it could be that the Seven of Pentacles sometimes carries a message that you are making progress that you cannot see. And that might be part of the moon, like things that are hidden, things that are happening behind the scenes. Like you are growing your garden, and whether that is like you are going to be working on something that will eventually pay off in terms of earning money. Either way, this is creating an energetic investment in you and your own development that is going to be very positive for you. Because we also have this Ace of Cups as your last card here. And the Ace of Cups is a very positive message. It can talk about a new beginning, a new opportunity. It can talk about a new creative idea, a new creative project, feeling inspired. And it can talk about a new relationship. And it might be something that happens, these cards are very slippery, something that happens as a result of this Two of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and having this positive attitude here, even despite the acknowledgement and acceptance that there might be things going on that we can't see or control or even have a good idea of what's going on here. It's like, I'm just going to focus on this. And I'm going to invest into myself. I'm going to have trust and faith. My angels are with, this person has wings. This looks like an angel. Your angels are with you. You're being divinely protected, and you can push through whatever your insecurities are. And even the process of doing this is its own reward, because it helps build confidence that everything is going to be okay. Even if you can't see everything, even if there's something going on here, it's like, I don't have to worry about this. My angels have me. I can just go in with a positive attitude, and that is going to generate positive things for me. I also forgot to mention this push through the insecurity. This is connected with the third eye, and so that might be saying that, like, you might be either seeing signs and synchronicities and or having gut feelings that everything is going to work out and you're going to be okay. And there would be a message to pay attention to that, because that is for sure reassurance from your spirit guides. And I mean, you can trust your intuition when it comes to this stuff. And I think that it's, if I'm talking about like building confidence and trust, it's building confidence and trust in yourself and in your own ability to trust your instincts. And again, as I was saying with the Ace of Cups, like, this is the result of this investment. Like, I can't start something new, something that has to do with creativity or emotional openness, heart chakra expansion, a new relationship. Those are all things that can very much be related to the Ace of Cups. And, you know, it's a general reading, so just take whatever. You can even take all of them. Take every message as it applies to you and your situation. You are working towards it by being in this Two of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and having this hopeful, positive attitude, trust and faith in divine protection, and pushing through any insecurities, working on the solar plexus as well. That determination, the willpower, the self-esteem, and again, that's why I'm saying, like, this is a very positive message for you, Pile 2, that might begin with something that has to do with your sleep schedule, but I do think that there's a lot of reassurance from your spirit guides. You're on the right path, And again, like a positive attitude is its own reward, because it helps, you know, it helps us, you know, get through the everyday, day to day, like night and day cycle. And there might be a message to just have fun, and you know, you don't need to take everything seriously all the time. You know, you can just have fun sometimes. And again, like that, the purpose of being in this energy is just to be in this energy. And I think that is a positive message for you today, pile 2. I hope that I have communicated clearly, and that you have enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please feel free to leave a like. Please comment down below and let me know how this resonated for you. If you like my videos, you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching pile 2, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello pile 3, and happy Halloween, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the Ghosts card, this is going to be your reading for today, where we are just asking your spirit guides for any messages they may have for you. And I want to say I'm going to do something a little bit different from how I did it for the other piles, and that is I want to talk about this card before we get into the reading, because I think this is a really important message. If we conceptualize a ghost as like a spirit that has become trapped in a moment in time. For example, some people see apparitions of, you know, of people who might have become trapped in a particular room or a particular house, particular place, and they might be seen kind of going through the motions of their day. And it's like there's an energy that's kind of stuck there. That's what this card is referring to. There might be something, some person, some situation from your past that might be lingering in your energy. And I think your spirit guides are asking you to pay attention to that, because there might be something that that needs to be released so that you can move on from that energy, so that you can start to begin the healing process. Spirit is showing me somebody picking at a wound, or if you've ever like bit the inside of your cheek and then you can't stop tonguing it, you know, it's like that, like poking at a wound so that it doesn't have the chance to heal. And that's kind of what this card is referring to. It's like ghosts from your past. And there's a line in the guidebook actually that says, let them visit, but don't let them stay. When it's referring to this type of like energetic ghost in your energy field. Yeah, your spirit guides are just asking you to really examine whether you're holding on to an energy that you don't need to be holding on to, whether you're struggling. You might be struggling also with forgiveness, and I can relate to that. Forgiveness is a long process, and it's not easy, because it's hard to kind of, for me, it's been hard to conceptualize forgiveness as something that I'm doing for myself, you know, rather than something that I'm doing for somebody who hurt me. You know, it's like I don't want to absolve that person of blame. Because you know, it's important to hold people to account for their actions, but at the same time, I don't want to be carrying this energy with me. It's a healthy and beautiful thing to be able to get to a place where I'm like, I can let go of your energy. I've released the anger that I felt about it, and for me, that is part of forgiveness. It's like I need to feel and express those feelings, and then work to let them go. So there might be some energy clearing, energy cleansing, cord cutting, anything like that that can help you process and release your feelings about a specific person or a specific situation that might be lingering in your energy. I think that's Spirit's really asking you to examine that and to be really honest with yourself about that, and to do whatever you can in your power in the moment to try to address that stuff. So that I wanted to talk about that before we started, because I think that's a really important message for you. So with that said, we are going to get into the tarot cards. So I'm just going to move this up here, and we're going to get started. Okay. Okay, this slipped right out into my hand. This is the Hermit card. Okay. So what messages do you have for pile 3 today? What messages do you have for book? Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles, What messages do you have for pile 3 today, Spirit? Oh, okay. The cards are leaping out. We have the World. Okay. Spirit, what messages do you have for pile 3? Oh. Okay. All right. They've been leaping all over the place. Okay. So I'm just going to fix this up. Okay, pile 3. So we have the Hermit, the Four of Pentacles, the World, the Lovers, and the Ten of Cups. That's a beautiful message for you. A beautiful, very positive message. I am going to get your Oracle cards before we start talking about the rest, just so we have like the full context, full picture for what we're talking about today. Okay, we have the full moon in Pisces, which says forgive. Which, yeah, there might be some forgiveness that you are currently working towards. I think with the context of the tarot cards, I think you are working on this. I think this is something you are very much aware of. And this might be a message from your spirit guides today that, yes, you're on the right track. Yes, keep doing this work. It is working, it is helping, it is healing. And that for, you know, the message that I was giving, that forgiveness is a long process and it's not easy. You know, I think a lot of our natural inclination is to hold on to anger and resentment and hurt because it feels good to do that, you know. But at the same time, there's a lot of freedom. Like this crow is flying free. Like they're flying over this graveyard, and they're like, I don't have to take any of this with me. There's a level of freedom to forgiveness that I think that is really going to help you achieve a lot of things soon. This is coming in soon for you, and that's beautiful. And then we also have Spirit Guide, and what's interesting is the imagery on this card. It's the first thing that I'm noticing about it. You know, this card's never come out in a reading for me before. This would be a message. Your spirit guides, I think, have really been trying to connect with you and send you messages. I did want to say that I'm trying to slow down because I realize I'm moving too fast and I'm going to forget things. Your cards were behaving in a way that I probably cut it out of the video, but it happened even when I was pulling your Oracle cards, where, you know, sometimes I'm shuffling and the cards take a while to come out, and then when they do, it's like 5 or 6 or even half the deck all at once. And when that happens, I usually take that as a sign that Spirit has a lot that they want to say. And in this context in particular with the Spirit Guide here, like there might be a message that your spirit guides are really trying to connect with you. And there might be a message, if you've been in like this hermit type of energy, where you might be second guessing or questioning or not 100% sure that the guidance you've been receiving has been coming from Spirit. And I would take this as confirmation. Yes, yes, Spirit is guiding you. And in particular, with the imagery on this card, you might have one spirit guide in particular who is very much connected to you. And with this is like a mirror here. And I'm being called to interpret this as, like, this is something that somebody told me once, that I have an energy that's attached to me, that is like, I just have like an attached energy, and sometimes this is a soul that that incarnates in the lifetime with me, and sometimes this energy just accompanies me as a spirit guide, and that might be something that is happening with you as well. You might have like one spirit guide in particular who is attached to your energy, and they have accompanied you through several lifetimes, and they're here with you now, and there might be a message. You are very connected with a specific energy who is guiding you in this lifetime. This might also, you know, there's maybe a twin energy there, if that resonates for you. There's 2 fish on this card. That might be something that resonates for you, as you might have heard that before, as like one of your spirit guides. Might be a twin, might be a mirrored energy, might even be a soulmate who is incarnated in this lifetime, who is with you, and their higher self is with you. And there's one particular spirit guide who is very connected with your energy and is helping guide you along this path of releasing, working towards forgiveness, processing whatever's happened in your past. This is a full moon. The full moon can talk about, and especially with Pisces, like the full moon can talk about really processing our emotions, and like and maybe even doing like an emotional deep dive to be able to get to a place of forgiveness. It's like and that very much would be connected to the energy of the hermit here. It's like taking time out, taking time away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life to do some soul searching, to do some introspection, and maybe even shadow work, emotional processing, spiritual development, taking time to meditate, to kind of slow down your mind so that you can also work with the support of your spirit guides. I'm sorry if you can hear some construction noise outside. I didn't think they'd be working right now, but I'm going to try and push through it. Hopefully you can still hear me and it's not too distracting. We have this Four of Pentacles, and I think that these two energies, it's like doing introspection work and soul searching to achieve a certain level of stability. And I am getting a sense from this spread that it's not necessarily connected to like work or career or money. It might be, there might be a message of financial security here, but I think this is also spiritual development, you know, and I think that this might be like, there's a message of achievement here. There's a message of working really hard to, you know, to collect to this chest of pentacles. And you're like, you're kind of sitting on the chest like, I earned this. This is mine. I did this. And there can be a sense of achievement. There can be a sense of congratulations because you worked really hard for something. And that might be like the thing that you might have been working towards, you might currently be working towards, is having a sense of peace, having a sense of being able to release, forgive, let go, and fly like this crow, like just fly away, be free. You don't need to hold on to these energies anymore. This card also mentions certain things like, for example, this is something that I used to do a lot, and I found that I don't really do it much anymore. Which is like, if you've ever had like an imaginary argument with somebody, like, you know, like if you've confronted somebody in your mind, and I used to do this in the shower a lot, where I'd have like an imaginary confrontation with somebody who had wronged me, and I was calling them out on their behavior, and then imagining what they might say back, and then formulating a response to that, and have like a whole conversation about it. This card refers to those situations as being part of like the ghost, the remnant of whatever feeling you're having, and that can be a part processing those feelings. But at a certain point, there can come a certain point where we need to decide whether we're actually going to have that confrontation with that person, or we're just going to let it go. And I think that that might be something that you are in the process of doing. Like making those decisions, figuring out where you want to go from here. There might be like, okay, I got here, I feel stabilized, where am I going to go from here? Because the next card is the World, and the World is a message about completion. It's a message about closing a cycle. And I really like the imagery on this card, because it really looks like this person is letting things go. You know, or like her hat's flying away and she's just like, goodbye hat, have a great journey. You know, like, I don't have to cling on to it. Like, it doesn't even look necessarily like she's reaching to grab it back. It's almost like she's like sending it off on its way. And the card does talk about like closing off loose ends, tying up everything, learning whatever lessons there are to learn here. So that we can move forward into the next phase, the next cycle, whatever comes after this, without bringing these ghosts with us. And I have to be honest, pile 3, I think that there's not a ton of advice here. I think that, I mean, the majority of you, I would make the claim that, like, I think the majority of you, you're already doing this. You're already on the right path. Like, there's not I don't think your spirit guides are showing up today, and this spirit guide in particular is showing up today to say, okay, here's what you're doing wrong. Here's what you need to be doing. Do this, step A, B, and C. I don't think that's what's happening here. I think this is like, just like confirmation and reassurance. You know, if you've been working on this stuff, and I think for most of you, you have definitely been working on this stuff, you are 100% on the right path, and there's a message of reassurance. We're closing out this cycle. We're getting to a place of stability. We're going to get to a place of freedom from our past, from our ghosts, from things we don't want to bring with us, from energies and people and things we don't want to hang on to. This is a full moon. At the full moon with the world, closing out a cycle. There's something new coming in after that. And with the Lovers and the Ten of Cups here, that's a pretty pretty positive message. And there might be a message in these two cards that you, like, going through this process is going to put you into spiritual alignment with perhaps a soulmate, a soul family, a soul level connection. If that is something you have been looking towards, wanting to work towards, trying to manifest, yes, you are on the path towards this stuff. I think especially with the Ten of Cups there, whatever that means for you. But regardless, even if this doesn't have to do with a relationship or friendships or people coming towards you, it could, but it doesn't have to be. This is still a very positive message. The Lovers card can talk about when we're in an energy where we need to choose which path to follow. We need to choose where we want to go next. And there's this, like, even I was getting that energy from these cards. Where do I want to go next? I can go anywhere and do anything because I'm leaving this behind. I need to make a choice about which path to follow. The advice of this card would be to follow your heart. Follow whichever path makes your heart feel the most fulfilled. And that's something that, only you can say, what this is referring to, and only you can say which choice or decision or path or even like a day-to-day choice or decision is the most fulfilling for you. Only you can say what your heart's true desires are. And that might be part of this Hermit, is asking yourself those questions. What do you really want? What does your heart really want? What makes you feel the most fulfilled? And then going after that. And there might be some healing and releasing that is related to that you've been working on. You might resonate as somebody who is very empathic. You might resonate as somebody who takes on other people's energies. And that might be something where it's like having this time alone separate from those energies might give you an opportunity to separate, to kind of do some self-discovery and separate, like, oh, I didn't actually want this thing. I never actually wanted this thing. I just went after it because other people wanted it for me, or because I thought it was what I was supposed to want to do. And so having this level of insight here might help you when you are in this Lover's energy of following your heart. That might help you have a really easy time of, like, I know exactly which path, which way to go is most in alignment with my heart's desire. And the really good news is, you have this Ten of Cups here. And the Ten of Cups is all about emotional fulfillment. It is really the most fulfilled that you can be. So, the 10 is the highest number in the suit. Cups about relationships, emotional fulfillment. Could be connected even to creativity, but it's like, it's whatever you want that really makes your heart feel full. And there might be a message that you needed to clear this stuff away first before you could have room in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, in your life to bring in this beautiful Ten of Cups energy, this Lover's energy. There could be a message here about a new relationship if that is something that you want. Going through this process is putting you into energetic alignment with that, if that's something that you are striving towards. But the Ten of Cups is a beautiful, beautiful message about feeling extremely emotionally fulfilled because you've chosen to follow your heart, because you've closed out this old cycle. The Four of Pentacles, I didn't really mention it because I didn't know that it was really like a message here, but this might resonate for some people. There might have been something related to insecurity that you might have needed to work through. That might be part of this ghosts, things you needed to forgive. People might have created, like other people, situations you've been in, environments you grew up in, or other situations in your life might have created a certain insecurity where this card can talk about having worked really hard to earn something and then not wanting to let go of it. It can be a little bit of a stubborn energy of like, well, this thing is mine. I created this. I don't want to risk it or give it up or leave this safe place because it took so long to get here. And there might be a message of, again, like part of this work might be learning how to be in a Four of Pentacles energy of safety, stability, security, achievement, and enjoy it for what it is while you're in that energy, and then still be in an energy of acceptance and letting go if this is meant to be temporary. I don't think it is for you, to be honest, but if this is meant to be temporary, there is, again, a certain level of freedom in being able to let go of things, even things we've worked very hard for. So that might be an additional message that might resonate for somebody watching. But overall, I think pile 3, this is a very beautiful, positive message for you. Your spirit guides are with you. You have one spirit guide in particular who is really coming through today. And you might know what who this energy is, or what, who this spirit guide is, or this might just be news to you, but you do have one spirit guide in particular who is very anxious to speak with you and connect with you, who's really helping you on this journey, and is very proud of you and the progress that you're making. This is a message of you are doing a great job. You're on the right path, and we are closing out this cycle so that we can move forward towards extreme emotional fulfillment. And again, that's a beautiful message. Pile 3, your spirit guide is very proud of you. This spirit guide in particular is extremely proud of you, and you are on the right path. So with that said, I think that is where I'm going to leave your reading for today. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below and let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much, Pile 3, for watching, and I do hope to see you in my next video.